Hey traders, welcome to Charts and Coffee. Great to see everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. I imagine some of you just rolled out of our hot zone session, which we just did with the CPI. And we're going to start, I'm going to sit down with Trish today and we're going to put together a little bit better a schedule because, unless you're following and subscribed over at the YouTube channel for content that we put out, you probably didn't know we did a hot zone session again. It's the third one we did, by the way, this month. We did the non-farm payroll, we did the CPI, and we just did the PCE at 8:30 today. With that in mind, I got a lot of questions really quick from many of you who just joined me for that. We're going to talk about the management of that trade, and then we're going to get into your questions. So first thing was, Rog, what is the update that you're looking at? So you'll see right here. This is the update that just came out 29th. These are sensitive to hourly price movement ranges. In other words, historical volatility. So these need to be updated. You cannot look at old volatility calculations because imagine using an IV percentile or even more applicable, your implied volatility. Would you look at the implied volatility for June 2 or May 15 if you're trading today going into the end of the month? Of course not. You look at the current implied volatility. Volatility measurements are typically historical in nature, and they look at the ebb and flow, the contraction and expansion of volatility. And HPMRs are no different. So you'll see here, got the June 29, and I'm actually running the premium version. All right, so I got a couple of questions about that. Let's talk about some trade upkeep here. So what did we do during the hot zone session? And you can watch all that because I traded the thing live at the Simpler Trading YouTube channel. Agro only, right? Agro only entry. By the way, somebody asked me, Rog, when do you place your limit orders or when do you place your orders? That zone had been sitting there since, and I can tell you that zone had been sitting there since easily 8:20. That's exactly where it sat when I started the video, and it was sitting there even before that. I think that plotted at 8 o'clock. Now it can adjust, right? And it's supposed to, but it was sitting there right before the hot zone. We know then to use this zone to place our limit orders. That's my preference. You can market order, I suppose, but I'd rather just park that limit order and let the market come to me. As I was telling everybody, day trading frantically? No, hello. I'm the world's most boring day trader. Place the orders on my phone. That's the way, and that's how easy it can be. Not easy as in easy trading, easy as in order entry, right? I never want to imply that trading is a hot zone like this is low risk or very, very simple, but we made it about as simple as it can possibly be by pre-identifying what that zone is we want to enter. Entered, hit the first target, and then I'd like to hit the second target, and we'll see what happens. Now, a lot of folks ask, Rog, when these HPMRs shift from the 8 to 9 a.m. hourly price movement range that you were using for the CPI to 9 to 10, are you going to change that second target? No, I will not change that second target. Okay. The thing that did kill me, and I'm glad we did what we did, I played it much more conservatively with the group, is we had an aggro and moderate fill on the NAS. And when the NAS just sort of stalled, and it took a long time for the CPI to really, PCE to really push price lower, I said, you know what, let's move to break even. Now, those of you that said, hey, Rog, I'm okay with the risk, and we've got an entry at 11,580 and an entry at about 11,567, 568, I'm okay with, giving it a little bit more movement. For those of you that did, and I am sure a number of you who took the class last Saturday saw that, grabbed your 535, and now you're looking at your T2 down around 501, 502. So well done for those of you that did that. I played a little bit more conservatively in that video. Check it out. I will always say especially when I'm dealing with a group that may not be familiar with my process or my tools. I'd rather play things a little bit more conservatively. It still ended up being a net winner, but not nearly as nice as I'm sure a lot of you snagged from that HPMR short sell fade. Beautiful. All right. So that's what we have going on so far this morning. Clearly a lot of bearishness off that retracement up into the wave. Last trading day of the month, last trading day of the quarter. Are we seeing rebalancing rallies? The timing on this was a little strange. It's not going to work the way in which your typical rebalancing rally tends to want to work, but we'll just trade what we see. There's a market that we'd like to see. There's a market that we actually have. And the chasm between the two is where a trader finds their trades. Always. There's a market we wish we had. There's a market we really had. And inside there, that's where you and I find our trades. And in the meanwhile, day trading has been a really great way to sit through what's been a tricky daily time frame. I will say the dailies have been quite tricky. So I day trade in the interim. And you can still join me, by the way, again, if you catch that PCE, watch that video, by the way. Just don't go to that link. Watch the video. It's back at the Simple Trading YouTube channel. I walk you through the kind of trades. Tomorrow's our first live trading day. So that was a 20-minute, 25-minute segment. We're going to have 4 live trading days, 2.5 hours each. And we're going to day trade throughout the day. And I'm going to include some pre-market action in those live trading days. We're going to have one extra little mini session for the pro. We're going to have one extra mini session for the elite so we can do some of this pre-market stuff like we did with the PCE. As far as I'm concerned, it's not even 9 o'clock. If I didn't have a session this morning, I might go grab some breakfast with my husband, but that's okay. Let's see what else we can find after the bell. But sometimes you're going to find the best trades in the indices using the futures, micros, minis, and options on the minis can be found before Wall Street even wakes up. And that's a really wonderful advantage we have to embracing multiple types of assets, asset classes, futures, options, stocks, and ETFs. The more you're fluent in, the more you can keep the best kind of opportunities in your pipeline. All right, but gang, I don't want to ramble on too much about this morning. Do check out that replay. Let's jump into your questions. All right, gang. So let me get this daily chart a little larger. Perfect. All right, here we go. First up is, hey there, Tim. Just signed up for your class in live trading. Awesome, Tim. Yeah, we're starting tomorrow. My old free HPMR looks like yours. The new paid one does not. It should double check, Tim, because I just showed you all the onset. I'm using the Wednesday update, Wednesday, June 29 update. I'm using the freshest out of the oven, freshly baked out of the oven version. So is there a list of correct set? There's nothing you need to change on the HPMRs, Tim. It's just a matter of making sure. What I like to do is I keep on the extended hours on toss. All right. Next up, and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, Tim. That's great. Thank you. Lance says, I installed the Darvis 3.0 on my TradingView charts. Awesome. Do the signal arrows plot in real time? So remember, the signal arrows are looking at a pattern, right? They're looking at a pattern. While the pattern's valid, the arrow will be there. If the pattern loses validity, it won't be. So yes, real time in the validity and in the loss of validity, Lance. So cool question. Thanks for asking. All right, gold. What about HPMRs and gold? Sure. And by the way, Tim mentioned the live trading. For those of you that do not know, tomorrow is day one. Friday, tomorrow, 9:20 a.m. Eastern. And we're going to be following up on the class, which you get access to, by the way. You can watch it at your leisure. You'll get all the indicators. You'll get the fresh HPMRs that I took the NASDAQ and S&P trades on that you all watched me take this morning in the earlier session, simplertrading.com/guide. All right, so GC futures. I love trading GC futures. I think they're great. However, when we have, and I talked about this when we were trading Powell yesterday. We had some great trades. Yesterday's day trading in the Sector Secrets Mastery. Yes, I do day trade in my Sector Secrets Mastery. Was phenomenal. Why? Well, we knew where not to look, and we knew where to look. anytime, Trading Pigs, great name. Anytime we have an event that is a macroeconomic needle mover, I will usually avoid dollar, euro, treasuries, bonds and notes, and gold. I'll focus on the indices. I'll focus on energies, metals, maybe silver or copper, but not gold, because gold is sensitive to real yields. And anything that's going to be a needle mover in real yields is going to be a disproportionate needle mover in bonds. It's going to be a disproportionate needle mover in gold oftentimes. So this is where I say I'll pass on something like that. All right. And I usually won't. Now, you might say, Rog, how would I know that? How would I know that is? Well, I mean, that's why we have classes. But let me show you something else. What if I forget, Rog? The morning was hectic and I got to my desk a little later than I wanted to, but I really wanted to be able to take advantage of the HPMRs in the hot zone. Did gold give me a warning that things were already kind of screwy? How about it gave you a warning an hour earlier, an hour before, and probably more, an hour and a half before the hot zone? HPMR said, stay. What's that? What's that line that people joke from Poltergeist? Get out. Yeah, this was as easy as stay away, get out, don't touch me, as MC Hammer, can't touch this. That is we should call this the MC Hammer. Who remembers MC Hammer? Talk about some fun music. That's can't touch this. That is, and I'm going to have that running through my head all morning now. That's can't touch this. See how it's sandwiched? And then what did it do? It started to overlap. It's sandwiched, it's smushed together. That's your warning. That's your warning, right? An hour before. So gold is a no-go. Thank you for the question, though. It allowed me to show a really great example. I appreciate that. All right, see, Dan, I bought puts on the 1 hour chart of SPY, SPX yesterday. What do I see with the event announcement? Should I exit or let them sit? So, see, Dan, well, first of all, you're going to wake up to a really nice trade. So very nice. You're working with the path of least resistance. Well done. And so now what you want to think about is, what was your target? When you put that trade on, what was your risk? What was your target? My advice is always going to be, what was your target? When you put that on, where did you think the market was going to go in terms of potential downside for your first target? Stick with that. Stick with that. If you don't have a first target, I'm always going to recommend, on the onset of the trade, you should know risk reward, right? And I'm sure you do. So what would my then recommendation be? Well, look, we're going to see some volatility and possibly an echo of this morning's event. So I would not be surprised on the bell we see a little bit more strength. Don't freak out about that. Let the first 30 minutes go by, and let's see if the overall trend does resume. That said, you could use HPMRs for intraday downside targets. You could use maybe a slow stochastic to find out where we're oversold. We haven't touched that since just after 7:30. So if that 5-minute goes oversold on a 21K 3D slow stow, that might be another way to manage it. But nice trade, Dan. When you say let them sit, have a target in mind, a floor, have a ceiling in mind, and see if you just can't ratchet that throughout the morning. You might be better off managing this at this point, like as if it was like a day trade, right? Like a day, even though it's not, you'll manage it now at this point. Sort of what I call tactical micromanaging, taking a daily time frame or longer term entry. But at this point, it's clearly a monster winner for you. Congrats. Now manage it, micromanage it, but tactically. Okay, so great question. Was there a new update since enrolling in the, so Profit Bringer, you all will get that right before live trading. I believe you'll be getting that today, right? You'll be getting that today, so you can upload that, get the freshest HPMRs. And as we go into live trading tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of you there. It is not too late to sign up. You get the class, and then you can choose either 2 or 4 live trading days. You can choose up to 90 days of updates on my HPMRs. I mean, look how crazy accurate these things are. This is why we have to update this. I mean, look at that. Tagged it perfectly. I would have liked to have seen it go a little bit higher, but it tagged it really nicely. And that's why we update these things. So for the 4 live trading sessions, It's a whole year of HPMRs. And if you sign up for the 2 live trading sessions, it's a quarter. So yes, you'll get that. We'll get some fresh HPMRs for live trading. All right, moving on. Isaac, do I have any classes for someone who's never traded the market before? Isaac, what I would recommend is probably not day trading to start, although we've automated it to a point where I feel as comfortable as I've ever felt in my career to tell someone the learning curve is about as shallow as you know, even as easy as I can possibly make it. But I usually recommend to new traders daily time frame tactics. And I'll tell you what, Isaac, the best bang for your buck, yeah, you can go buy one of my classes, but the best bang for your buck to learn might be just joining me for a quarter at the Sector Secrets Mastery. And if you've never looked at that, I actually put together. Now this is not the official. I don't even know what the longer URL is, but I have this link forwarding to that sign up. So just go to sectorsecret.com. I think that's a whole lot easier to read. Sectorsecrets.com, and I think it's secrets. There you go. Go to that and check out what we're doing, because I think a quarter, I can't remember what a quarter is, but it's about roughly the lower end of one of our classes. And you're going to get a whole whole quarter with me, learning videos, trading with me. That's going to be either a fantastic supplement to those of you that took the day trading class, because we're going to be day trading in that room after mid-July, or it's a great way to get started with what I teach, and you get a little sample of everything in a whole quarter with me. So that might be a really good bang for your buck. I think it's actually a really good way to get a feel for, as a beginner, where you might want to go, because you might say, Rog, I really like the longer term stuff you do. Cool, we cover that in Sector Secrets. You might say, Rog, I really like the position portfolio stuff you do. We cover that every week as well. And then you might say, okay, the day trading thing is for me. So this way you get a sample of everything that I do in the Sector Secrets, aka the Everything Raghee room. All right, thank you for the question, Isaac. And I so envy the journey you have ahead, because sometimes I think about when I was a brand new trader and just everything was new and all these aha moments, and I just live for seeing other traders have those, because I can't do that anymore. So I live vicariously through traders just getting it for the first time and turning the corner. It's great. And we have a great community in that Sector Secrets room as well. All right, took the class, but my arrows are not working properly. Who can I talk to? So Rockman, at some point we are going to, you can reach out to the office. Hey, Lorna, I don't know who he would reach out to, but as far as tech issues, Rockman, if you're in, and I don't know which of these would apply. If you're in the live trading room, if it's something simple, I'm not going to do a lot of tech, but if it's something simple, I'll try. If not, reach out to Duncan. Reach out to Duncan, DUNCAN at simplertrading.com. Reach out to Duncan and he can help you with the tech. He's the one that did the tech video for the class. And make sure they're turned on. I know that sounds silly, but sometimes I even turn things on and off and I screw up my own tools. Go figure. But Duncan can help you. He's our dedicated tech assist person. Our very own genius bar, if you will. All right, next up, what's going on with ZN? The longer term ZN, and I'll throw ZB into that too, my friend. See that move higher? I want to take advantage of that. We have an aggro approach to this that we're looking at the moment. ZN, really via ZB. So all my cards on the table, I'm actually looking at ZB. And we're going to start to scale into this. But remember, anytime we have a macroeconomic needle mover such as PCE in play, we're going to see volatility in dollar. We're going to see volatility in treasuries. We're going to see volatility in gold. So let that settle, but this is looking pretty darn good. In the meanwhile, we might day trade the thing. Look at the beautiful trend forming on ZB. I'm going to be in the simpler futures room for the open here in momentarily. My mastery folks, heads up. You already got this week's report. I'll send out this week's notes with the day trades to you all probably by the bottom of the hour. So gang, that's it for my time here. Check out the session that I did earlier with the PCE. If you're interested in how I day trade these sessions with my tools, HPMRs obviously definitely gave us a great zone to take advantage of. All right, gang, be good to each other. Heads up, end of quarter, end of month, and I will talk with you all soon.